of Indiana County, WCCS, 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. It's a Friday morning, and each Friday at this time, we visit with Bob Pollock from the Extension. I have to do a couple of things in the computer here because for some reason the whole program got closed down. I think we're ready now. Yes, we are. Mr. Pollock is here from the Extension. Our visit presented by Marcus & Mack, voted best law firm and best personal injury lawyer 4 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. Okay, so our friend who describes herself as an old gardener using organic methods has a number of questions for us this morning. Let's see how many we can get to, okay?
Okay.
Number one, how do you store carrots over winter? Would in-ground work with coverage? We've talked about this before.
Yes, and it can work. We don't know yet what the winter's going to be like. We don't know if the ground will freeze or not. It's best if we can keep the ground from freezing. If it can be cold, similar to a refrigerator, then that temperature range, as long as it's above freezing, and typically our refrigerators are around 40 degrees. So if we can keep it between 32 and 40, that would be preferable. And so you might have to insulate the ground. It would also be good to protect it from potential attack by rodents also.
Oh.
Yeah, mice and voles and things may find that and might find it appealing. So, some netting, some chicken wire, anything that we can use as a barrier to help, keep those kind of pests away from the planting.
Okay, she adds more. She says, I am growing beets and spinach and carrots right now. They're just seedlings now. But she says, what are some effective but not expensive ways to protect them in or above ground varieties when the weather does turn very cold and still maintain easy access to them? And when the weather turns cold, I think spinach would be awfully difficult because it's above ground.
Right, above ground, but it will take, it's a cooler season crop. You can grow it in warmer weather, and in a greenhouse type setting, you can grow it, but it prefers cooler temperatures. So actually, as we move into fall, that can be a nice crop. Now, it slows down the rate at which it matures, of course. It's not going to mature as quickly as it would if we'd plant that in the spring. Because we also have to remember, not only are temperatures getting cooler, but the days are getting shorter, and that has a huge effect on plant growth.
Okay,
so we've got to be able to cover that somehow. Okay, we have to make a protected structure for these plants to keep them going as long as possible.
She's like anticipating your responses here because she says, in the past I used PVC pipes arching over winter planting and used rebar to stabilize the pipes that was covered with heavy plastic 3 millimeters thick, probably. Is that the correct thickness? She says, I no longer have those items, and I don't have a cold frame either and can't get them again. So she's like, every answer you have, she's already anticipated.
She's in a challenging situation.
Yeah.
Because you have to, the only other thing you can do is bring them indoors to try to keep them in a cooler setting indoors. So I don't know if that's an option or not, and it might not be. But a basement, something like that, where you essentially could move that indoors but keep cooler temperatures. Still need light, still need moisture.
Milk jugs wouldn't protect them.
I mean, individual plants, and to a degree, but still, it's going to get too cold. Yeah. That's where the system she had set up previously worked because she had the heavier plastic, and again, with no external heat source, even plastic, it's going to get cold in there. And so people would, you can use a light bulb, not so much anymore. The old traditional light bulb gave off heat. And in a smaller structure, you could actually use that and get enough heat from the light bulb to make the difference. But even then, we get down in the 20s and teens. That is not going to work.
It's not going to be warm enough.
Yeah. She's getting herself cornered here in the ability to be able to raise these things.
Yeah.
And really extend that season. And it might be that you just take it as long as you can take it and then call it a day.
Well, she's wondering if maybe using straw bales to suspend the plastic.
Yes, absolutely. Straw can insulate. No question about that.
But she wants to use the straw bales to actually suspend the plastics. You sort of use them on the borders,
Oh, yes.
put the plastic underneath and tent it on them.
Yeah, typically a straw bale, is thicker when you turn it on end. It'll be higher and give you more air volume there than laying flat.
Yeah.
So yes, that can be used to make a barrier around there, to provide walls, and also provide some insulation for another type of cover that you want to put on there.
Yeah.
And it's not like you can just throw a blanket over things, because you still need light. You're still trying to grow those things. So it almost has to be plastic or
Something
panes of
translucent.
glass, or that we can let the light in. And remember, you're also going to gain some heat from the light too. So that's important.
Yeah. Yeah. In the
Because
wintertime.
that'll extend, that'll also warm the ground, keep the ground warm longer, so that, you can extend the planting.
Yeah. So she's put a lot of work into this, and let's see what else we can help her with. She's got one other concern here. She says, "What type of soil do I need for garlic? Should soil be consistently irrigated? And what's the easiest and best variety to grow of garlic in this area?" And she wants to know about what fertilizer to use, when to harvest the garlic, how to cure the garlic cloves. She says she's new to garlic.
Okay, garlic typically planted first part of October. Okay, so you take your cloves. There's a number of different, but the German type varieties are pretty common. They will grow well here. Those are just the best types to try to get. Plant first couple of weeks of October. You might be able to extend that to the end of October, weather permitting, and then you want it to germinate, okay, which it will. Now, we need moisture for that to happen, so you have to have enough moisture in that ground. Hopefully, we're going to get some rain here to take the edge off of things in the next month. And then it'll come up, and really you just same way that you would grow other vegetable crops in the garden. Roughly we want the pH to be between 6.2 and 6.8, and then ample nutrients there: phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium. Of course, the best way to know that, take a soil test so you know where you are and what you need to apply to get it up to where it needs to be.
Now, when is she going to harvest that? And then
Not till next July.
Next July is when she'll harvest it.
Yes.
Okay. And then, so curing it will wait until then.
Cure it, yes. You want to, it takes a long time to grow. It's going to overwinter there, and it's going to sit there, and it will sit there until spring, until, the soil warms up enough, and then it'll start to grow, and then it'll continue to grow. And usually by the end of June into July, sometimes mid-July, is typically when you're going to harvest. You still want that bulb to be, the husk or the skin on that bulb to be firm and attached. If it gets too mature, then the bulb will split open at the top. Okay? So we're trying to keep that where it attaches and goes up the stem, that kind of papery outer coating that dries, when the bulb dries. We'd like that to be intact, but you should be able to see the ribbing in each clove, within the bulb. But that's typically when that's going to happen.
I'm interested in what she said previously on that other question. She's growing beets and spinach and carrots right now. Now, I've heard of carrots being not only grown, but stored in the ground in the wintertime, but they are just seedlings now. They're actually going to grow over the winter?
If you have enough temperature and light to keep them growing, that's the key. So hopefully she can provide those conditions for that to happen.
Yeah, and right now,
They may not.
moisture is the biggest thing.
Right, yeah. Got to have moisture every day. Days are getting shorter. We're still pretty warm, so that, can keep things moving. They may not get as big as they would versus a spring planting. Okay, you can be kind of prepared for that. That's not uncommon to have those fall crops not get as large, and especially if they're that small at this point. But still, baby carrots, smaller beets,
That'll be good.
that can be fine.
Let's go back to another of her questions because I'm not sure that we addressed it. The thickness of the plastic she was interested in is 3 millimeter plastic. Is that a good thickness for this?
Yeah, thicker is better. Now, the thicker you get, the less light transmission will go through. But, that's not going to be overly thick. As long as it's translucent and light can get through.
Yeah.
That's what we want. And thicker will help have a little bit more insulation.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but, and it will hold up better too. Because when that plastic is going to break down, the longer it's exposed to light and normal conditions, over time, it will start to get brittle.
Yeah.
But,
It
she'll
pretty
be fine
much-
for this winter.
Got to throw it in the landfill for it to last 1,000 years.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the only place it'll last that long. Otherwise, it will get cracks and
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Bob.
be useless. You're welcome.
I hope that helps our organic gardener. It's Indiana in the Morning on WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. We're just about 2 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Fox News then, and then Josh in the newsroom.